Hello. So today I'm going to talk about self-compassion. So I'm Lizzie. If you don't know me, I help directors show impact, influence, power and passion, get rid of that body armor, show up as themselves and have the courage to be who they truly are. And so as part of this, I'm having lots of discussions with directors at the moment. It is such a tough time of year, I know. It's meant to be wonderful, it's meant to be festive, it's all lovely. However, in reality, it's deadlines, it's giving so much pressure to get the end of the year finished strong, plus all the stuff at home with parties, with school plays, with present buying, cards, seeing friends, all that stuff. It can really add the pressure cooker and make it feel a real challenge. So today I want to talk about self-compassion. Now, you've heard me talk, if you've heard my lives before, the difference between the ego and the intuition. The ego is that place of fear. Will I get it all done? How can I manage? I've got so much to do. I haven't got enough time. That comes from a place of fear, of judgment, criticism, and comparison, where we have those stories. I haven't got time for this. I haven't got time to this. I don't know how to do this. And it's the whole kind of freneticness. It comes from that place of fear of not being good enough. And then we have our intuition, that calmness that gives us curiosity, that gives us self-compassion. Now, you might say, I've got time for self-compassion, I've got too much on. Exactly. This is when we need self-compassion more than ever. Trusting ourselves that we can get through this. Trusting ourselves that we have all the skills we need. Because when we trust ourselves and when we have that self-compassion, it creates a calmness within us. So it's the same task, the same mountain of things to do, somehow we trust ourselves we're going to get through it, so we feel calmer, so we get on with the task in hand, and it's a much easier task to fulfill. So when we notice that fear kicking in, that I haven't got time for this, my brain is too full, blah blah blah, that's when you have the power of the pause, breathe, take a breath, realize that you've got this. And the thing about worrying about things, worry is simply having fear of something that hasn't happened yet. And so what happens is, in our thoughts, if we're truly present, we can get on with so much. But we let the fear kick in of the future and the past. Oh, I didn't manage it last time. How am I going to manage it this time? Or the fear of Christmas Day coming and you haven't got everything done. Or your last day at work, which might be tomorrow, you haven't got everything done. No one is going to die. No one is going to, unless you're in healthcare, of course, in which case that's a different situation. We're in my background. But this is when it's so important to have that self-compassion. And why do we put this pressure on ourselves? And that comes from the ego, the why questions. The why am I so stupid? Why can't I get this done? Why am I so slow? Why? That comes from a place of criticism. So move the questions in your head and out loud to how and what. What do I need to do next? What's the one thing I need to do that's the greatest priority before I finish work? And if I get other things done, that's a bonus, because then you've met your target of that one thing that you need to do. Now, you might say, I've got too many one things to do. That there's always one dominant, one thing that is a non-negotiable that needs to be done. And let's start off with that, because that gives you that sense of satisfaction that you've ticked that box. And notice when you're spending too much time just answering emails and doing all that stuff, rather than the project that you're meant to be finishing right now. Because that gives you a great sense of satisfaction that you've actually ticked off your list. So just as we break up for Christmas in the next few days, notice when the fear kicks in. Take a moment, take a breath, do that box breathing. Breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4. And even if it's a few seconds of doing that, then that can really calm your nervous system, get rid of the fear, fight and flight, allow your brain to kick into the curiosity part of your brain to think, okay, what do I need to do next? And then your deadlines will be easier, you'll feel calmer, and then everything starts working. I totally appreciate the challenges it is right now with managing all those deadlines. So look after yourself. And self-compassion includes stopping for a moment to have a cup of coffee and a bit of quietness. It includes, ringing somebody up to say hi. That's all part of the self-compassion. Anything that makes us feel good, anything that actually calms our nervous system and makes us feel we can cope better. And this is where sleep is even more important, and getting to bed at a reasonable time. And I know that I'm not saying don't have parties and all that fun, because that's so important as well. But this time, this is that sleep is so important. Good nutrition, bit of fresh air, all the things that tend to be forgotten about when we're under pressure. So look after yourself. Take care. And if you want to know more, I'm having so many conversations with directors at the moment, how to start the year strong, how to navigate, reflect on the year but just gone, because it's been a tough year. It's important to reflect upon it so that you can then park it, put it to bed, ready to start fresh, rather than it kind of lingering in the back of your mind. So let's have a conversation. If you want to do so, I'll put my scorecard in the bottom here, where you can have a conversation with me to find out how resilient you are. It takes 2 minutes to do, and then we can have a conversation in the new year to set you up for success, so that actually the year that you had this year will not be repeated if it wasn't great. So take care, look after yourself, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.